The girl pressed her lips on the white cloth, but she had not worn any makeup, yet the test still showed lipstick, so she asked for another check, and the red color still appeared. At first, the girl did not understand what had happened until she saw that the female officer competed to check her opponent. So during the face washing test, she smelled the white cloth and dropped it on the table. When she turned her head, she saw that her opponent already had one white cloth, but the female officer gave her another one, and the opponent used the second cloth. She understood everything at once, and the chubby girl beside her also noticed something strange. The girl quietly told her that the white cloth had the smell of crowgrass. Once it touched the skin, it caused itching and swelling. Her hand already showed the symptoms. To keep her face safe, the girl could only borrow the chubby girl's white cloth. Luckily, the kind chubby girl did not treat her as an enemy. While waiting for the face reader, the girl noticed that the same female officer was talking to her opponent. She could not hear them, so she only observed. After the female officer left, she noticed a drop of red liquid on the ribbon around her opponent's waist. Coincidentally, the face reader always checked the ribbon quietly before giving an evaluation. The girl became terrified during roll call when she realized she had counted 30 classmates even though there were only 29 in the class. But the teacher was very sure that one student was absent that day, so the total was 29. They counted again, and the girl still got 30, but she pretended she also got 29. The truth was that the girl had special eyes. She could see ghosts. After school, she was about to take the bus home when she saw a ghost sitting in front of her. She was shocked and went online to look for a solution. One person said she could try yelling at it. So when the girl met a small ghost, she yelled at it. The ghost realized she could see it and followed her home. It even watched TV in her house. The girl kept looking at her phone. Another person online said she should pretend she could not see ghosts, so the girl began to ignore them. No matter how scared she was, she acted like she saw nothing. But the next second, it turned out that her nearsighted eyes had mistakenly made her see the old man as a ghost. She apologized and ran away. After this, the girl felt better and ran into the school. She saw her friend in front of her and quickly greeted her, but her smile froze because a ghost hand was resting on her friend's shoulder. The girl had to pretend she did not see it and started talking with her friend. The girl checked her phone and found that salt and prayer beads could drive ghosts away. When her friend ate lunch, she secretly sprinkled salt, but it did not work at all. At the same time, two students were discussing the ghost hand. They could also see ghosts. A more dangerous ghost appeared nearby. The girl also saw it. The ghost sat next to the homeroom teacher and stared at her belly. The girl pretended to have a stomachache and asked her friend and the teacher to go to the nurse's office. The two students saw everything and suspected she was the same as them. Soon, the girl student found her and took a photo of her and her friend. But the girl looked at the ghost hand in the photo and pretended she did not see it, so the girl student thought it was a misunderstanding. After school, the girl bought prayer beads for her friend and said they could improve luck. Her friend put them on right away, but the string broke suddenly and all the beads fell to the ground. Even worse, the ghost hand appeared on her arm. Both methods failed, so the friend took the girl to a shrine to seek help from the gods. This time, the ghost really left her friend. But the problem was not over. The homeroom teacher was about to give birth, and several hands appeared on her belly. The girl did not know what to do until the boy classmate appeared and told her not to panic. The ghosts that followed the teacher were guardian spirits. The principal soon told them that the teacher had safely given birth to a baby boy. But when the girl saw the substitute teacher, she could not feel happy because a pitch-black ghost stood beside him. The ghost stared at her friend only because the substitute teacher said her friend's name. Her friend suddenly felt hungry and weak. The ghost was absorbing her energy. When the girl looked at the group photo, she found that half of her friend's body had been taken over by the ghost. She immediately took her friend to the shrine again, but this time it did not work. The next day, her friend stayed home because she was sick. The girl knew this was related to the ghost. She went to the girl student and admitted she had special eyes. She hoped the girl student could help her drive the ghost away. Then the three of them watched the substitute teacher from a distance. They found that the ghost was actually a living spirit. Unlike ghosts created after death, a living spirit came from strong resentment. They guessed that a woman had been betrayed by the substitute teacher, which caused the living spirit to follow him. The mouse crept into the kitchen holding a bottle of potion. He first tested the spot with a toilet plunger. He found that the distance was not enough. He hurriedly brought a golden spoon and put the potion on it. While no one in the kitchen paid attention, he climbed onto the counter and kicked it down. Soon the potion completely blended into the soup. Most people drank it without suspicion. Only the leading witch sensed something was wrong. She walked up to the woman and asked why she did not drink. Before the woman could answer, a witch suddenly began to dance and then turned into a mouse. Then other witches began to fart, one after another turning into mice. In the chaos, the man also lost the right to reproduce. The woman planned to go back to her room to destroy the evidence, but a witch followed her. Just as she prepared to act, the mice below had already set a trap. Taking the chance, the mouse leaped forward and smashed a big bottle of potion down. As the witch began to shake violently, she was thrown up to the ceiling. The next second, the witch also turned into a mouse. It turned out that this mouse was actually a little boy. He became like this because he had discovered the witch's secret. They used zombies to rob the vault. But after the zombie took a few steps, it found a trap ahead and living people behind it. It immediately turned and charged at the men. Luckily, the teammates fired in time. Then they caught a new laborer. This time the captain used the smell of meat to attract the zombie. He threw the meat at the vault door. Sure enough, the zombie ran forward at full speed. It stepped on a trap, and countless hidden weapons shot out from the wall. But it did not stop and walked on to the second trap. After furious gunfire, it lost an arm. However, the trap designers had underestimated the zombie's resolve. This time it did not trigger the third trap. When everyone thought there were only 2 traps, the zombie suddenly stopped. Thanks to the zombie's sacrifice, the group finally reached the vault door. But the door was very complex, and even the man who was a lock expert had to spend a lot of time. At the same time, the 2 guards outside had just dealt with the raiders. Unexpectedly, the raiders' roar echoed across the city. The woman hurried back to base and ordered everyone to evacuate. At that moment, the president gave a speech. He said he would drop a nuclear bomb on the zombie zone in 1 hour. But the vault had 4 linked locks and still needed half an hour. The panicked crowd fell silent, because the money was most important. 30 minutes later, the man finally opened the vault. When they went inside, they saw piles of cash. They felt like they had entered paradise. Elsewhere, the corpse king found his wife's remains. He angrily gathered his army for revenge. The captain felt something was wrong and ordered a retreat. Then he discovered his daughter was missing. When he turned back to look, the zombie horde surrounded them. In the chaos, everyone fell one by one. Before he died, a team member detonated a grenade. At that point, only the captain and the woman remained from the squad. Fortunately, they found the helicopter pilot. They were about to board when the corpse king caught up. The woman covered the rear, but as the helicopter lifted, she was sent to heaven. The captain did not leave. He kept searching for his daughter. After hiding for an unknown time, the daughter shot a zombie and drew the corpse king. The captain quickly fired a grenade and blew the corpse king away. Just as they were about to leave, the corpse king leapt in again. They fought fiercely inside the cabin. The next second, a nuclear bomb flattened the whole city. In the chaos, the captain managed to kill the corpse king, but the blast also crashed the helicopter. When the dust settled, he and his daughter were still alive. He had been bitten. In the end, the daughter tearfully sent him away. The richest boy in the city threw his test paper angrily in front of the teacher. He had written that 2 + 2 = 22, so the teacher gave him a failing grade. No matter how the teacher explained it, he could not understand. So the teacher gave another example. There were 2 pens on the left and 2 pens on the right. How many were there in total? He still believed the answer was 22. Seeing the teacher reject his answer, he flipped over the pencil box and ran out of the classroom. The next day, the boy's parents came to the school. The teacher thought they were coming to apologize, but they came to question her instead. They said their son could not be wrong. If he said 2 + 2 = 22, then that must be the right answer. The teacher felt she could not reason with them and tried to leave. Unexpectedly, the woman slapped her and said she would file a complaint. Even worse, the principal sided with them. He claimed the teacher should apologize to the boy. Because she refused to compromise, she was fired. When she went to collect her salary, the principal suddenly acted normal again. He said, last month's salary was 2,000. This month's salary was 2,000. So together that made 4,000. But the teacher refused to agree. She said it was 22,000. To get first place in the shooting test, the new recruit secretly took out a scope to cheat. His teammate scored 49 rings, while he got a perfect 50. But the female instructor immediately noticed something was wrong. She knew the recruit's skills too well. There was no way he could shoot 10 rings. So she walked over to check and discovered that he had used a scope to cheat. Cheating was far worse than being lazy, so she gave him a score of 0. Before joining the army, the recruit had fallen in love with the female instructor at first sight. When he learned that she would be his instructor, he decided to impress her. But instead of working hard, he used ridiculous tricks. For example, during gun-holding practice, he intentionally made wrong moves so she would spend more time correcting him. However, she did not indulge him and asked another soldier to fix his posture. Later, he waited on the training path, pretending to practice hard, and even asked a friend to distract a serious teammate. Even so, the instructor ignored him completely. He thought if he could get first place in shooting, she would finally notice him. But when his cheating was exposed on the spot, he not only got 0 points but also lost his assistant squad leader position. His roommates began to dislike him. The man first stuffed his mouth with bread and then stepped hard on the gas toward the police car parked in front of him. He crashed into it directly. The 2 officers were very angry, but he was not afraid at all. He was also a police officer, and his rank was higher than theirs, so he blamed them for parking the car on the roadside. The 2 officers had no choice and apologized. In this way, the man replaced his windshield smoothly. In fact, his windshield was damaged because he had hit and killed a man with his car the night before. He did not expect that when he returned to the station, an emergency meeting started suddenly. Interpol asked them to help arrest a drug dealer. When the man saw the photo, he realized the dealer was the person he had killed. He regretted it deeply. If he had called the police, he might have been promoted. Now he could only pretend he knew nothing. The police soon launched the operation. Everyone was preparing, but he believed the dealer was not there. When the order was given, all the officers rushed into the room. There was no one inside. The man wandered in the yard and saw the same dog from that night. He felt something was wrong and chased it. After he passed through an iron gate, he was shocked. It was the crash site, and the tire marks were still on the ground. As he thought about how to handle the marks, he saw a police car driving toward him. He panicked and pretended to kick a stone. When the officer parked, he walked up to ask questions. The officer said someone had witnessed the crash and saw the body being put in the trunk and taken away. The man tried to get information about the caller, but the caller had used a public phone and never showed up. Then his co-workers arrived. The captain was about to confirm the progress when another officer suddenly found a camera above them. The man panicked and tried to take over the task of retrieving the footage, but because of his earlier performance, the captain refused. He soon found another idea and used delivering late-night food as an excuse to go to the monitoring room. Luckily, the camera captured only a blind spot. It had been raining and foggy that night, so they only knew it was a black car and could not see the plate. The man thought that if he cleaned the plate, he might not be found. Then a strange call came. The caller said he had seen the drug dealer. The man was scared and hung up immediately. The caller then called his mobile phone again. He even called him a murderer and warned that he would call the police if he hung up again. The man realized the caller must be nearby and looked around while talking. He soon saw a man in white standing near the public phone. When the man in white was about to get in his car, the man chased him on a motorcycle. The man in white did not run. He even stopped on purpose and waited for him. After circling once, the man in white returned to the police station. Before the man could react, the man in white punched him. The captain arrived just in time. Surprisingly, the man in white was sent by higher-ups to assist in catching the drug dealer. He said it was because the man looked like the murderer he was searching for. Later, the man went to the restroom to find his superior. He did not expect the superior to tell him to hand over the dealer's body. The man still refused to admit anything. Then the superior touched his buttocks. The man could not accept it, and they fought again. The man soon realized he was not the superior's match. He locked the door and prepared to escape over the wall, but the superior kicked the door open and wrapped a hose around the man's neck. He poured water into his mouth until the man agreed to hand over the body. When the man dug up the dealer's body, he made a shocking discovery. There were 2 gunshot wounds on the dealer's chest. This meant he had already been dead before the car hit him. At the same time, the man realized the dealer's death must be connected to his superior.